In this video, we describe how to send images from the CCFC camera to a Campbell Scientific data logger. This is usually done because the logger has some type of telemetry connection, such as cell or satellite modem, landline, or RF modem, and the images are needed off-site on a regular basis. To do this, there are settings in the camera to send out the image to the logger and from the logger to receive it from the camera. I've set up most of my mode already. The capture mode, I'm using the time capture. Now it's not showing here because I haven't activated it. I've called it, I've given it a name, scheduled every 15 minutes between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., set my lens position, and now I'm going to enable photo capture. Usually it's images that are sent from a camera to a logger because the largest file you can send is 2 meg. That's a pack bus limitation. Videos are often much bigger than 2 meg. So first I enable this, and I'm saving it to the camera memory also, and then I want to send it via pack bus. That's how it's going to go to a logger. So this only works with the newer pack bus loggers, the 800, 850, 1000, 3000, CR6, CR300. The old ones, CR10X, 21X, it won't work with that. Verify that your pack bus port is RS-232. If it doesn't say that right here, we have a bigger problem, not insurmountable. Call our office and we'll help you through that. So my media profile, I've also already done that. So the only thing I'm going to do right now is verify my pack bus port information. So I click the edit button. The address of my camera is 55. The destination is the pack bus address of the data logger. Right now I believe it's 1. I'm going to verify that when I talk to the logger. There are no neighbors, communication delay. It's a direct connection. I'm on the power cable that comes with the camera. There's a green and a white wire for the RS-232, and I got a 20-foot cable. I don't need any more delay. If you're doing some kind of wireless Wi-Fi connection, then you may need a delay in there. I have no security, and I'm going to leave it at the fastest baud rate possible, and I click save. And then I have to hit save here because that I saved my pack bus. Now I have to save the capture mode, and now when I go to my dashboard and then capture mode, it should show. Come on, there we go. Now it shows it. Now it shows it as being saved. So now I want to go to my data logger and do the settings there. My data logger settings are a little bit more extensive, but still simple. Just follow along, you'll see. So I'm going to connect up to my logger. I have a direct connection to the RS-232. I'm connected, and I go up to the tab Data Logger at top, and I go to the Settings Editor, and I'll be able to do everything from this point. First thing I want to verify is the pack bus address for the logger. It's 1, which is the same thing that I told the camera, so I'm good there. That's the only thing you have to verify in this tab. Next tab I want to go to is the COM port settings. I'm talking to COM1 in the logger, and so I have to actually activate it and tell it to do the same baud rate that the camera is going to be sending out. Then I have neighbors allowed. This is the logger looking for what pack bus neighbors it expects, and this is simply the address or the pack bus address of my camera. So I set that to 55, and that's all we have to do on this tab. The next tab is the Advanced tab. I have to set the IS router to true, and then I go down and I set my USR drive size. I know my images are about 4.9K, and I want to only hold 3 of them in the memory. So I'm going to set this to 18,000. The logger will automatically reallocate the memory. This is a sort of partitioning of memory, and so it's going to do it for around about 18,000, but it's actually a multiple of 512. I don't have to get my calculator out. The logger will do it automatically, and then it knocks out about 2,048 bytes that it's using for overhead. But so I know at 18,000 I have more than enough to hold 3 images. Files Manager, very important that we set this because files are going to be coming into the logger, and if we don't set this, it's going to fill up until the US drive is full, and it'll stop. It won't take any more images. But by doing this, I can tell it, it will automatically write over those images. So basically I'm telling it how to manage these files. And so I tell it that it's the USR, and then I want to give it a name. And so I'm going to say photo.jpg, and the count for me, I'm just going to use 3. hit OK, and so now my files manager shows me exactly what it, and that's all I have to do. In the advanced tab, I hit apply. The memory is being partitioned right now. If I go to file control, it's waiting because the logger, it's doing that stuff with the memory, and now I'm going to see a CPU and a USR drive show up right here. And there we have it. We have the USR drive. See, so it was 18,000, so it knocked off about 2,000 bytes. And I click on that. I don't have any images yet because the camera, it's a 15-minute interval. It probably hasn't hit that interval. But I want to test it, so I got to force that a capture, which is simply done by going into my capture mode, and right down in the bottom in the center, it says test capture. I hit OK. So it's collecting the image, and this is just in my office, so it's going to be of, you know, my jacket, my wall, or something like that. I want to go into the file explorer of the camera, and sure enough, there it is. So it is 4.8 KB. I click on that. I go down below. I open the folder, scroll down. There's my image. So there's my office. So I'm happy with that. Now let's see if that sent it over to the logger. I connect up, I go into file control, I go my USR, and it's not there yet. Oh, there it is. I hit refresh. And so I called it photo.jpg, so it's automatically going to say photo 1, photo 2, photo 3, photo 4, photo 5, and continue on. Let's just verify this is exactly what I saw from the camera. So now I'm talking, and it's exactly the same view. I'm talking to the logger now, not the camera. And so I know my photos are being sent to my logger the way they're supposed to be. And so I can disconnect. I know my logger and my camera are properly set up. The next thing I need to show you is how to do the setup in LoggerNet so that you can tell LoggerNet to automatically get those images. So now the USR on the logger is sized to hold only 3 images, and these will always be the most recent images. If you don't retrieve them before a new image is taken by the camera, the oldest will be deleted. To avoid this, set up LoggerNet to automatically retrieve the images on a time interval fast enough before the oldest image is deleted. Follow me as I set LoggerNet to do this. I'll move a little quickly, but you can always pause and rewind if you miss anything. First, go to LoggerNet and click on Setup. Go to the station that you want to set up. In my case, it's the CR1000. Go to the Hardware tab and make sure the Communications Enabled box is checked. Then set your schedule, how often you want the computer to be calling the data logger. Again, this one is also checked. And then I set my collection interval for 30 minutes. You can set that for whatever you need to. Because my images are being taken every 15 minutes, I know I'm going to be in sufficient time. I could even leave it at 40 minutes before that third one is taken, and then it won't overwrite it. If you have data files you want to retrieve at the same time, it would show up here. You would click on those and tell it what to collect. The next tab that we want to set up is the file retrieval. You have to click on this to enable it, and it'll follow the scheduled data collection that we just set in the schedule tab. The other thing I want to do is I want to click on this delete files after retrieval. We set up Files Manager in the logger, but we also want to do this, it's kind of as a backup, because if for any reason the computer doesn't call the logger in a proper sequence, the logger will also manage deleting those files. The most important thing is we want them to keep on coming through. Now, if you say, in case there's a problem, I want to have more than 3 files saved, you can either increase the size of your USR, or the better option is to use an external SD card. Using the CFM100 and a data card, you can increase that memory. You can send all your images to that card. But for now, I'm going to click on this delete files after retrieval. Then I need to add new. I got to tell LoggerNet what file pattern to look for And so I click on the add new, and then I go over here, edit file pattern, and I pull the drop down menu, and I say the USR JPEG. So now it's going to look for just the JPEG files in the USR drive. Everything else is fine. Make sure you click on the apply tab. And so now that logger is set up to, LoggerNet is set up to automatically get those images. And I'm just going to show you quickly here. I have this set up in my office as part of a test, and over the last little bit, these are the images. I turned it off just after 12 noon. These are the images that I got. The first image was the forced capture, the test capture one that I got, and then I have one at 11, 11:15, and etc. So, and these are all the images just simply of my office. So that's all there's to it. Hopefully you now feel comfortable configuring the camera on your own, but if not, I encourage you to contact me or any of our measurement consultants at Campbell Scientific Canada. If you have any comments or suggestions for other instructional videos, please leave me a note in the comments. Again, my name is Robert, and I hope you have a great day.